Yo, let's go with y'all boys, man. Today we got what dying on every drug feels like. Let's check it out. Get straight to it, man.
Incident. Dreams are a
How
natural
y'all day
psychedelic
doing, bro?
that cause hallucinations. About 30 minutes after eating
I'm in
them,
that Christmas
colours get
spirit,
brighter,
bro.
patterns start crawling on the walls,
Let me lock
time
in.
stretches like taffy, and your sense of self begins to melt. Your brain is rushed into a state of euphoria, leaving you questioning what's real and what's not. But what happens when you take too much? On a calm Saturday afternoon, a 21-year-old Hispanic man would return home from work and consume an unspecified quantity of shrooms.
Bro, I've never did shrooms, bro. I don't plan on doing them either. I only smoke, bro. Smoke weed. That's it, bro.
Shortly
That's all
after
I'm doing,
consumption,
bro. As
he
far as
started
I'm going.
experiencing a bad trip and begun acting erratically upon arriving to his house. His stepfather and brother would step in and restrain him to try to calm him down, but he'd break free of their grasp and also break a glass vase in the process. In his frenzied state, he'd then begin to rub himself against the glass shards on the floor and severely injure his arms and legs. His brother and stepfather would successfully intervene to stop him
Shrooms
from
got
injuring
you
himself
like
any
that,
further
bro?
with the
Nah,
glass
I'm
shards,
good,
and
bro.
he'd be sat down at a desk. But shockingly enough, in a horrific act, he'd take a number 2 pencil that was laying on the desk, stand it upright, and repeatedly smash his head on the sharpened pencil. When he raised his head,
Yo!
he'd reveal that he jabbed the pencil repeatedly into both of his eye sockets. He would stand up again to do something else, but quickly vomited on himself, leaving his family in a state of total panic.
Oh,
Emergency services
shit,
called,
no,
where they tried
boy.
desperately to save the young man's life.
Shit,
But
no.
unfortunately, they would only get so far. Shrooms are one of the least toxic substances in the world. You'd need to eat dozens or even hundreds of grams to fatally overdose. But that doesn't mean people can't die from it. Most fatalities come from behavioral toxicity,
Right.
panicking, jumping out windows, walking into traffic, or doing something fatal during a full-blown psychotic break. You won't pass away from the drug itself. You'll pass away from what it does to your mind. The Gator incident.
That's
Now
why
let's
I ain't
talk about
doing it, bro.
when it hits, you feel invincible. This substance
That's a
cranks
crazy
up your
one.
sympathetic nervous system and causes an explosive release of dopamine in your body. Your heart starts racing, you become laser focused, and you'll be filled with unstoppable energy. The high can last 8 to 16 hours. No sleep, no food, just intense stimulation. And when you take too much, your body turns into an absolute war zone. On May 26th, in Orlando, Florida, concerned bystanders would phone a call to police officers to let them know that there was a man on a racetrack shaking violently, asking to see his son. When police arrived, he was nowhere to be found,
Bro, he doesn't have a son.
till suddenly he was located in a lake, full of alligators.
Wait.
Officers would try to throw the man a life vest, but he'd refuse it and would start getting attacked by the alligators in the water.
He
And to
refused the
officers'
vest?
surprise, like it was a scene straight out of a horror movie, the man actually resurfaced out of the lake, covered in severe injuries and carrying gardening shears. He would charge at the officers in their car, and in response, they would tase him repeatedly, but it would have absolutely no effect. It was only when the man
Oh,
jumped into
shit,
the
no,
passenger seat of the
boy.
police cruiser
Shit,
and tried
no.
reaching for a rifle in the vehicle that officers
Shit,
finally
no. He
used
done turned to
lethal
an
force.
Avenger, bruh. No,
Hijacks your
sir.
brain's reward system and sends your body into overdrive. It burns out your dopamine center and disrupts your central nervous system so much that your body both loses touch with reality and can no longer regulate its temperature. Your organs can literally cook from the inside out and cause you to collapse. You can have a heart attack, or you could simply just go on a rampage and meet an early demise like this man. The 108th incident. Weed is by
Who?
far one of the most commonly used substances in the United States.
Yes, sir.
Within minutes of smoking, you're relaxed, music sounds better, jokes are funnier, and you get really, really hungry. You might feel euphoric, or anxious, or both. It depends on the strain, your mood, and your brain chemistry. So what happens when you smoke too much of it? Well, here's the truth. You can't die from THC toxicity alone. There's no known lethal dose in humans. You'd have to smoke thousands of joints in a short time to even come close. But that doesn't mean weed is harmless.
Right.
In the
No, it's
spring of
super harmless.
2018
And it's
in
addictive, bro.
California,
I hate
a
when
woman
people
who had
say
just
weed not
befriended a
addictive,
man
bro.
at a dog
Weed addictive as hell, bro. If weed wasn't addictive, why the fuck can't I quit, gang? Like, what?
park she frequently visited would follow him
That
home
shit
to his
addictive,
apartment
bro.
for a quick spark-up session, which, mind you, is totally legal in the state of California. After the two finished lighting up grass through a bong, the woman would unexpectedly shoot up from her seat straight to the kitchen and grab 3 knives.
Hey, could you come back with some chips? and maybe some ice cream, and maybe some chicken. Oh, are you trying to chop up some salsa? I love salsa.
Jim, I'm not making salsa.
In just the blink of an eye, she would stab the man repeatedly non-stop 108 times. His body would be covered in...
Bro, weed ain't do that, bro. This bitch just crazy, bro. This nigga lying, bro. Weed ain't do this, bro. No, bro. I smoke every day. I ain't
head to toe, and his
never,
face
not
would
one
nearly be
time
entirely
wanted to
carved
stab
out.
nobody, bro. This is
Officers
cap,
that
bro.
arrived at the scene would find that she had also stabbed her dog, and shockingly enough, had stabbed herself 40 times, and was still in the process of
The
doing so.
dog?
They would quickly intervene and try to physically stop her, but it wasn't enough.
Man,
Officers
look.
would tase her 4 times to try to break her psychotic frenzy, but it
Man,
would be to no
look.
avail. In order to get her to stop, one police officer had to swing a baton at her arm
Shit
9
no,
times to break
man.
it, and finally she would
Shit
release
no.
her grip from the knife. The man unfortunately didn't make it, but surprisingly, the woman did. And even more shockingly, she faced 0 prison time for her actions because it was proven in court that she experienced what is commonly known as cannabis-induced psychosis. The woman was very inexperienced when it came to smoking weed, and that potentially played a huge role in why she experienced
Man,
this rare
that's some
phenomenon.
bullshit,
She
bro.
was
Throw
placed
that,
on probation for 2
lock that
years
bitch up,
and
throw
was
away the
required to
key,
do
gang.
100 hours of community service. The man's family, especially his father, were extremely upset when they heard about this. Understandably so.
It should never have happened. She should have never have been allowed to walk free. She should have done some time.
I ain't gonna lie, that's some
you had a
bullshit,
jury
bro.
that convicted her, a unanimous conviction, in less than 4 hours, and the judge went completely against all 3 of those entities and just said, "You're free to go."
The stove.
That's an L,
YouTube
bro.
really
I ain't
didn't
even
like
gonna
the
lie,
case
bro.
on ecstasy that I found. So instead, we'll go over this situation where a 26-year-old martial arts fighter and his sparring partner consumed an unnatural amount of shrooms while in their apartment. Initially, everything was fine, until they became convinced that the world was coming to an end and that the two were fighting a battle of life and death.
We
between
just
God
did one
and
on
the devil.
shrooms, bro.
The
What
two
the
would
hell? You
begin
doing
their
two?
legendary battle, and finally when the struggle finished, their friend would walk into their apartment room only to find the martial arts fighter standing butt naked in the kitchen cooking his friend's heart and remains in a stove. The victim would be found laying on the couch, missing
No,
his face,
bro.
tongue, and
Bro, this video
and sadly,
crazy.
the autopsy revealed that he was alive when his chest was ripped open and his heart was taken out. The martial arts fighter wouldn't be as lucky as the woman in our last case. He'd be formally charged and sentenced to 47 years in state prison for what he did to his friend. Now, this probably makes the US legal system come off as a little hypocritical, considering that in the other case, the woman was allowed to blame
Come
psychosis
on,
for
bro.
her actions.
So, is we serious right now, gang?
And be cleared of any severe wrongdoing, whereas in this case, the fighter's state of influence was ignored and he was directly sentenced.
I mean,
Honestly, that's your opinion to make. When it comes to over
to be fair, he did cook the guy's heart, bro. But still, they both died, bro. Nah, that's crazy.
on psilocybin, you'll find that it rarely ever ends you through toxicity alone. You'll need to eat an absurd amount for that to actually happen. The real danger is psychosis, panic, and delusion. Once you compromise the healthiness and security of your mind for a quick burst of excitement, you'll find that that's where things go haywire. So in other words, don't do drugs. Have a happy day.
Yeah, I wasn't planning to. Good video, man. See y'all tomorrow.